What's up, folks? I want to talk about how being consistent and having consistency is going to get you where you want in life, whether you're on it or you need some inspiration or motivation. This is it. Being consistent is going to get you to where you want to be. Being consistent knocks out all the competition or obstacles that are holding you back. And believe it or not, this is what makes you great, is when you have obstacles and when you make mistakes and errors. If you were perfect all the time, which is what you work towards, but you never want to be perfect, and it's kind of impossible to be, per se, in words that is, because there's no real definition of perfect, but being you is genuine, and you are going to do things differently than everyone else. Someone who speaks is going to speak different from the last person. The last president is going to be different from the last one. Someone who plays hockey and is one of the greatest all the time, the next one that's the greatest of all time is not going to play the same or act the same, you know. And there's a bunch of differences and likes that come into that. Consistency will get you to your goal, and that's why you need to place a goal and be consistent with it. And I say this, I've been saying this, it's better to do something than to do nothing. Whatever it is, you might as well just make up something than not do nothing, because why live something that's dull and boring? You should do something that's exciting and invigorating and that energizes your soul, and explore new boundaries. You may already be there, or you may be working your way there. You may have not a clue, but just place something in mind, make a plan, and be consistent with it every day. If you miss a day, then come back to it and keep doing it. Do it every day. That's how you become great with anything. Doing it all the time. And then eventually, maybe you won't have to do it as much, per se. You'd reap more for less work and less energy, but you would get more out of it. But people say practice makes perfect. Doesn't need to be perfect. You just need to practice to get wherever you're going to be. And everyone practices different. But what makes you special is the fact that you keep going at it and nothing's going to stop you. So consistency is key, and that's pretty much where everyone falls back. You can be ugly or bad and be hated or horrible at something, but if you're consistent, people are going to see that and they're going to take note of that, or they're just going to see your face or hear about you all the time, or you're going to see that in yourself, and that practice in yourself is going to be there physically, emotionally, and you can even go as far as say spiritually. And you keep on doing it, just keep on practicing. That's what everybody lacks. And they also lack a goal, and then ultimately to stick with it is what they don't do. So that's all you have to do, and you will beat out other people. So set that in mind of what you want to do. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. You can make it happen, especially with the technology we have and just the resources and tools. You can make anything happen the way it is. It can be something brand spanking new or different. And you're always going to be different, so don't compare yourself to others, or people before and people after and to come are going to be completely different too. You can look to people for expression, ideas, and opinions, which is great, but make sure you be you and be genuine. And be consistent with everything you do. You got to do it every day. Whether you want to do it in the morning or night, set X amount of hours for it. And you just got to keep going after it and prolonging it. because the inevitable is near, and you will get there eventually. And trying is what matters most, even if you don't get there. But I don't even want to say that, but what matters is if you tried, because then you regret the fact that you didn't try for something you always went to seek. And we're all seeking something at the end of the day, so we're fulfilled, and we got to keep going after it non-stop and practicing every day. And you don't got to be necessarily dogmatic about it, but you can, and whatever it is, that's your goal, because that's what you want to reach. And then you can work your way around it and then develop, per se, a routine that fits you, because yours is going to be somewhat completely different, especially when you have different goals. But then you'll attract people that have like-minded things or like what you like, and then you'll see the differences on the side and what you don't like and what you don't need and what you need to cut out of your life. And you'll always find things you do like, you know, when you're on that journey of seeking of what you really want or that goal, and you keep practicing. You know, no one just picked up the guitar and started playing. Someone first had to see, we already have the guitar built, but you can make your own instrument or own type of guitar out of anything. Somebody you know, built something out of wood or something, and you know, in nature they built it out of wood, somehow constructed it. Probably wasn't even a good guitar, it probably didn't even have a name. They probably could have used any material. They built it, some type of instrument, musical, and then, you know, they probably fluctuated with it and probably made a bunch of different ones, prototypes, and then messed around with them and got one that they messed with a lot, and they kept practicing. First they had to build it or find the resource, then they had to build it, then they had to play it, and then everyone played it differently, or everyone built different ones out of different materials and learned at different rates and played with different tones and velocity, different words, power, lyrics. And this is just bewildering and crazy to think about. But now we just have access to guitar, and you know, there's like pretty much like a set tuning / frequency, you know. Then there's like the majors, you know, the basic notes, the major chords. We all know that. If you don't, but there's still different ways and techniques of playing, and everyone's gonna play differently and sing differently if they are. And overall, there's going to be sound quality of the instrument and then the instrument itself. But no one picked up a guitar and started playing it. It's just easier to access and easier to learn different things. And there's so many people playing just for the sake of the guitar. There's so many people playing it, and there's just so many different things to pick up on from other people, and that will make you stand out. And you can intake a lot of resources, like I said, in different things. And maybe you create a whole new instrument or a different style of playing, different tones, and whole new songs, which is creativity. And that's why we were born, to create, because we were created, if you want to put it in that matter. And because there's really no way to go past that or beyond that, per se, in a previous tense. So we were created, you just say that, born, and then we are here to create. So yeah, be consistent with what you do, because not a lot of people aren't. And there's people who, if we're just sticking to, people who aren't good at drawing, but they keep drawing and they become good. And even if they're drawing all the time, like, someone respects that they're drawing all the time, even though they're painting or whatever it is, their medium sucks. But they see that they're drawing all the time, and they like that it's not even the painting that they like their will and their courage and their confidence, and they keep going. That's maybe what they pay for, and maybe they're just paying him the painting, he's just doing what he wants to do, or she's doing painting, whatever medium they're using in art, and keep on doing it. And that's magnificent. And they could not even like the painting. They just like the skills that he has, the determination, and then maybe that motivates them and it has a ripple effect. It can be inspirational to the person that's paying for it, or just even looking at it. And then that person paints something or makes something or does something completely different out of art, whatever you consider art. And then that just has a ripple effect to the whole world. It's the energy you give out that you receive, and everything comes from the inside, and you radiate it to the outside world. Everything comes from the inside. That's why you work on your health and your inner motivation, inner awareness, workness, and self. Then you become motivated in the reality, and you could set things forth in the physical form, because it all starts in the inside, which is nothing, creation, and then you create creativeness. And it's all about the energy and how you want to put it off. And you consume energy too, but how do you want to spend it? So be consistent with the work. You never know what it's going to do or where it's going to get you. And people might not even see what you're creating. They just see the work, the aesthetics of it, not the metaphysical. They're not, you know what I mean? When someone goes perform on stage, whatever it is, theater, comedy, music, you know, they didn't just go make the song up, freestyle the song, though it's possible, but not likely. Not saying that's a bad thing either, but a lot of people are paying for something they've heard about or see or want to see, and this is from teasers or rumors, promotion, whatever, past performances. They are encouraging you to come and they want it to keep it going. But they want you to come and see their energy and what they're doing. But what I was getting at, because I kind of forgot what I was exactly talking about, well, the example I was going to say is they didn't just jump on stage. They rehearsed and practiced and rehearsed, and no one sees that. No one, you know, making even a video game, no one knows what it's like to make a video game unless you actually make them or have some background or researched it. You know, it's completely different when you make the video game, whereas it's an experience. Of course, everything in life is, but it's completely different when you playing the video game to building the video game, because then you know, when you built the video game, you know everything about it. Just as like a car, and just with the guitar, I don't know nothing about a car or truck, whatever you drive, but it was built a certain way. Someone who built it is going to know all the mechanics, how it runs. You know, it's going to know its performance and everything about it. To someone who just bought the car and drove it, just going to go off and drive and knows nothing about a car. Not saying that's wrong, but it's completely different reality, and the way you feel about it and think about it is completely different, and the way you experience it, it's just completely different sides. And just as I was saying, when you go step on stage, you don't know what this person's been performing and rehearsing. You don't know. He's been rehearsing probably more hours than you've been working, maybe. And he's been doing it so much, or she, and keep rehearsing and practicing. And all the songs or all the music, comedy, art that didn't make it the cut, that was practiced to get there, and all the thoughts and ideas and all the struggle, obstacles, whatever it was, and other things coming in the way, and they got there, and you're seeing them perform, but you didn't see all the practice before unless you're literally with them, which most people aren't. And you know, no one sees the beforeness. Everyone sees the performance. No one sees all the meditation, all the practice, dedicated time that really took to make it. So consistency is key, and you know, maybe we'll have volumes of this. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say.